we are back. And now we're going to look at observations at the section level. The section level as opposed to the big ideas. So
Carol already started on that.
Yeah, I've already got it.
yeah. So you divided Titus into the big ideas, the Roman numerals. Now we're going to populate them, the Roman numerals, with A, B, C. And that's as far as we're going to go. We're not going to go Roman numeral 1, subsection A, and then the subsection of that 1, 2, 3. We're just going to go to A, B, C. Okay? So, what you're going to do is read your sections repeatedly to make sure, shore up your sections. If you want to revise the outline you already have, go ahead and revise it. Read the big sections that you have repeatedly, and then again, you observe the structures. In this case, it's ideological. We're not going to encounter this, but you will encounter these other structures when you're reading other genres of literature in the Bible. So I've got some terms here that will help you identify different parts of the big ideas. We noticed that when we had our discussion earlier, words like for and but were a big deal in order to help you understand the flow of the sections. So look for different terms. Again, I don't want you to worry about having to memorize what type of term it is. Just recognize that when there's these key terms, something's going on. So here's, for emphasis, these emphatic terms of indeed and only. Local, like a location. Words like where you will see this or that or the other thing. Temporal, referring to time. After, as, before, now, then, until, when. Okay. Keywords. That's all. You don't have to write them all down. You can if you'd like. Terms of reason, such as this, that, or the other thing, because. Here's the word for. Right? Here's the reason, as John was pointing out, the why. Here's the what, and now here's the why. And then result terms such as so, and there, therefore, and thus. Purpose terms, in order that, so that. These terms, you see them in various at the beginning of sentences, and it should be like a trigger in you to go, okay. And it's just so that you can logically work your way through a passage. Okay? Contrasts. But. Right? But was a big one to look for in Titus, yeah? Although, much more, nevertheless, otherwise. Comparisons are good. These comparisons are going to link it. Just like the contrast links, comparisons link. Also as, so, just as, all of these. A series of facts like a list. First of all, this. Last of all, that. Conditional if-then statements. If with all your hearts you truly seek me, then you shall ever find me. Okay, so try and visualize. Really, I wish I had that recorded. The way that you put that Titus together, try to visualize the logical movement within the passage. Just as he did it at the book level, and we talked about it at the book level, going from leaders to relationships in the church between each other, and then how the church should relate outside the church. That was a good way to look at the book as a whole. I want you to do the same thing for the sections, the logical movement of the sections. Analyze what you're looking at. You got to look for the key ideas. And what order is it going in? You know, a good start would be the whole what you're supposed to do and why you're supposed to do it that way. And then you formulate your outline. You've got your big chunks. Revise those big chunks. Put them into, and then discover the details for the subsections within your big chunks. And of course, record it. It's always good to record it. It's great to work with pen and paper or a computer. Anything that you can cross out, because you know I've got to compare the outline I just came up with with the outline that I gave as an example to you all to see if I agree with what I said previously, because these can be works in process. So you may wind up changing what you thought, okay? But let the text be your guide. Look for the key terms to help you understand what is linked to what idea is linked to what idea. So you want to write it down. Write down the key terms, or not the key terms, the key ideas, just like Curtis had his. Paul's greeting. That's pretty simple for the Roman numeral 1. But when you break down the Roman numeral 1 and you go to A and B, you can be a little more wordy. Make sure that it's relating to the context. Make sure that if you're throwing something in a section, that it relates to that section. Okay, make sure that, here's one, make sure that he's done talking about bondservants. Or if an entire other section, he's still talking about bondservants, for example. And then record it in a form. And the form that is easy, I think it's probably the easiest form to look at. Roman numeral 1, idea, A, B, C, if needed. Roman numeral 2, A, B. So what you're going to do for the next 30 minutes, you're going to read your Titus sections. Take a little more time. Go section by section. Break those sections down into the supporting points for the big idea, subsections. Okay? We all know that the first section is Paul's greeting. And we know that it consists of what Paul says, and then it consists of what he says to Titus. But break it down and try and put it point A and point B and give it a title that makes sense and fits with it. Identify and record these subsections by yourself or work with a partner. Any of you can work with a partner. Okay? So here's an example of what we're looking for. So we have Paul's greeting, 1 through 4. This is what you did. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do now. So I have this as Paul's intro, 1 through 3, and greeting to Titus, 1:4. Then we will come back and share what you've done. Another brave soul can come up and share, but I want you to go section by section and do this. Does it make sense?
So we're just doing the first section now?
Yeah, the whole book. So you're going to go section by section, section 1, then 2, to however many major big idea sections you have. And in doing this, I mean, you should have do you have a good flow of how Titus as a book goes? The book as a whole, you got a good flow of it? So now you should get a good flow of each section, of each big idea section. All right, give it a shot.